Hello and welcome to the show. I am back on Forza Horizon 4 building another car to take on the hill climb stage. The vehicle of choice today is perhaps one of the most significant rally cars in history, the Lancia Stratos. Theoretically, I would imagine pretty good, let's face it, at this sort of thing. We start off at a mid-C class, which gives me plenty of room for upgrades. The car is pretty light, short wheelbase. I mean, it's the things you kind of want. The things you kind of want, the things you definitely want when it comes to building a car to go up a hill as quickly as possible. We will start, of course, by putting on the wide body kit option. We can't change the engine unless the car can't get to the top of A class. This won't have that problem. We are running the cars with their standard drive lines, but we will put body kits on where we can. The prime reason being, make the car wider allows us to put wider tyres on the car. In the world of Forza, the wider the tyres, the better they go. It's not the most extreme body kit on this, it just kind of changes the back. Also gives us rally lights. And any option for rally lights is an option that I want. So, there we go. We can also actually still stick on Forza aero bits to this kit. Any little bit of grip that we can get is well worth it. Likewise, we will be putting the car on race tyres. We will have more than enough PI to do that. It will put us up into A class now, but we need the grip, basically. We need to have the grip in this vehicle. They are 325s at the rear, which are lovely big tyres for propelling our car along up the mountain. Then we sort of now have to be a little bit more careful. I say a little bit more careful with our choice of stuff. We are going to want brakes. I mean, that's a pretty decent amount of improved braking right there, shall we say? So let's go for that. Suspension, suspension, we don't actually have much in the way of options. I guess it's on racing suspension to start with. So there we go. I will put in the roll cage. I know it's a little bit of weight. But extra it's only £63. Extra chassis rigidity and all that is probably good, and it lowers the PI. We'll save the weight with exhaust upgrade probably. Do I want to go for anything? Sometimes these can drop PI. Some of these gearboxes can drop the PI down. Doesn't look like it's going to be the case with this one. Fair enough. I will put a diff in the car. We'll come back to maybe driveline if needed. Now, engine. We will probably not need to worry. Yeah, we're not going to need turbochargers. We're definitely not going to need a engine swap to get this to the top of A class. It won't take very much. It isn't going to be the most horrendously powerful of vehicles. That much is for sure. It's looking about 250 horsepower, 220 odd torque. Oh, there we go, 270 horsepower, 220 torque. It is very light though. It is very light indeed. Okay, not quite as light as the Mini, but likely to be more controllable than that. You will add more than 1 PI to be expected, I guess. We'll stick on the flywheel and then have a poke around, see if any of these can be added. Or in fact, that one there can be added as well, while keeping us in A class. We won't get any more for the Lancia. There we go. I think it is ready. I think it is ready to take on the mountain. As I said, it isn't the most powerful car, but it is very light. And I'm hoping that short wheelbase, large tyres, plenty of grip, fingers crossed, will be very good for climbing up the Needle Pass. So, we are here on the start line with our Lancia ready for the first of our 3 attempts up the Needle Pass, where we are going to try and go faster than a 127.4, a time set by a Honda S2000. I do think this might be the sort of car that could give the S2000 some trouble. It could worry the Honda. Oh, okay, I had hoped we might have the rear end grip to get away with that. Not quite. So the back end, despite the immensely large rear tyres, the back end in this will still move around. I mean, it feels quick up here. There is no doubt about that. I'm just going to have to be a little bit careful. I mean, it's got massive rear tyres and, I mean, an okay amount of power, but hardly earth-shattering and not particularly a ridiculous amount for this sort of thing. But, yeah, still more than enough to excite the back of the car. There we go, through the next corner. Yeah, it's a lively bugger, this one. Now, that's okay. That's okay. It's not uncontrollable with it, which I like at least. It feels fast. I will say that much. This does feel like a quick car up this course. I'm hoping that will translate into a pretty decent finished climb time. That's all sorts of wonky through there, but never mind. We go jump on the throttle, try and get out of that hairpin as well. Kind of hairpin. Interesting corner. 2 more turns to go. Try and make the most as we can through here. A little bit, yeah, a little bit wonky through there. There's certainly room for improvement on this run, I feel. Definitely room for less of the oversteer. That would be appreciated. And it is going to be across the line. I think that's going to be a 129 on the first run for the Lancia. Indeed it is, 129.2. So, time wasted, I would imagine. Time wasted sliding around a little bit. We have to manage that some more, and then hopefully be able to go quickly. So, on to our second run with the Stratos. I was perhaps a little disappointed almost about the speed from that first one. I need to find some time. It genuinely felt like a very, very quick car up there. It genuinely felt very, very fast indeed. And to be a little bit further off than I would have liked is going to make, well, we're going to have to try and find some time. It's potentially going to make life a little bit more difficult for me because I'm not quite sure where we're going to find the time. I mean, I certainly know I don't really want the car sliding around as much, but, you know, it's easier said than done. I mean, it is nice. It's nicer through here than we saw from the Monte Carlo. Last time out, the front end is behaving itself. It's just the back end that's the concern with this one. You see there, for example, it excites the rear ever so slightly. You've got to counter steer to catch it, and then I've ended up out a little bit wide for the next corner. We got very lucky. Got very lucky. We were incredibly close to missing the checkpoint there. I can't be flat out through here because the back end doesn't have the grip to make it stick, although we were pretty damn close to flat out through there. Braking is incredible in this. It does get stopped, I would say, alarmingly fast. It's easy to brake a touch early in this car because, I mean, massive rally brakes in an incredibly light vehicle. It is stopping super quickly here. There's smoke billowing off of everywhere. I don't really, as much as it is a Stratos, don't really want to put wheels on the gravel. It is on full, well, as close to slick tyres as we get outside the Monte Carlo. So, yeah, I don't really want to be playing on the gravel if we can help it. One more turn to go. Take a second go at turning in because the back end was wanting to step out again. Here we go, run to the line. What is it going to be? Oh, I thought that was going quicker and it really wasn't. That's again, 2 very, very similar runs. 129.2 once more from the Lancia. Ooh, we need to find some time. Not really sure where we're going to find some time. I am really not quite sure where I'm going to be finding, well, a second. I really need to find a second to be vaguely competitive with the likes of the Scirocco and the RX-8 in this. It's strange, we talked about this before, sometimes cars that feel fast are actually slow, sometimes cars that feel slow are actually fast. This definitely feels very, very quick up this hill, but the climb time, that they don't lie, it is struggling a little bit for pace ultimately here, which does surprise me, but there we go, it is what it is. I'm going to do what I can on this final run to try and go as quickly as possible up here. There we go. Now, don't slide here. This is where we got a little bit of trouble last run there. We are neater this time around. We might get a little bit sideways going on there again. It's just about everywhere I'm pushing this car. It is flirting with disaster through a lot of this. Oh, that's going to be, again, it's a smidge wide. We'll clonk the sign. Doesn't matter too much, though, clonking the signs out wide like that. It's not going to give us too much in the way of grief. That's, well, we're going to get an exit there. It's not quite where I wanted it to go, but it's going to have to do with this. Now, next hairpin, we head up towards a nasty one. This one, kind of a tightening corner. We had a little bit wider on the way in. We're going to end up chucking it in a little bit more again. Smoke has poured off this car a lot more on this run than I would have liked. However, and it feels quick. It feels quick up here. I don't know whether it's actually going to equate to a good a good time at the end of the day. I've given it everything. I think it is safe to say we're going to have some more smoke around this final corner. We are indeed, as we run towards the line. It is going to be better. We found a second. It was basically the second we were looking for. Oh, it's still a little off. It is still a little off the fastest cars. It surprises me. Like, statistically speaking, this looks bloody fast. Driving it, in fact, felt very, very fast indeed, but it struggled a bit. I mean, that final run was very aggressive. Final run was very aggressive indeed with the Stratos. Oh, we're going to get a level up. We're going to get anything interesting. Oh, you know what? I've made my money back on the car, at least. Paid 100,000 for the Stratos in auction, so there we go. Perfect stuff. Yeah, it felt incredibly fast. It probably felt one of the fastest cars I've driven up there. It is very good fun to drive. Lively, and more lively than, you know, my normal choice of car. I'm not going to lie, I much prefer something a little bit more planted, a little bit more stable than this. But it is fun. There's no denying that. Feels very quick. However, its hill climb will put it into a 6th place. It beats the Mini, the M4, the Iron Knight, but it loses out to the Scirocco. It loses out to the RX-8. I mean, it's close to these cars. It's just about within the ballpark. It's within 0.8 of a second of the S2000, the fastest car to have run up the course. It's close, but he gets beaten by the front-wheel drive Volkswagen. And this felt considerably faster than the Volkswagen. It felt considerably faster than the Monte Carlo, for example. But, yeah, was not to be an interesting car, nevertheless. An interesting car, nevertheless. But that will be it for today. If you have car request vehicles you would like to see run up this course, please do leave them in the comments section below. The most liked comments, provided the vehicle is within the class restrictions and I can afford it / can acquire it, then it will be run next time out. We will see what it will take to beat that S2000. That, though, is going to be it for today. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.